Greetings, one and all. Now, I've done a few videos with a similar sort of topic to the video that's coming up today. And within this new series, once again, we have a prime example of a head coach being the scapegoat for a team playing not particularly very well. Of course, if you follow the NHL news relatively closely, you will know that the Florida Panthers head coach, pictured here, Gallant, has been fired by the Florida Panthers management. The general manager, Tom Rowe, will take over as the interim head coach until the Florida Panthers find themselves a suitable replacement. Now, Gallant was fired following a 3-2 loss against the Carolina Hurricanes over the week. And for me, it's just a prime example of our team's not playing particularly very well this season. They're not playing really awfully. They're not playing as good as we'd hoped they would. Let's just fire the manager. It's definitely his fault. We need a shake-up. Let's get rid of the manager. Or let's get rid of the head coach. It doesn't make any sense. When will franchises learn that making head coaches scapegoats doesn't work within the league? All it does is make the situation worse.
Oh, but Odd Man Rush, what about Pittsburgh? They brought in Mike Sullivan and they played much better.
Well, maybe the players should just play better on the day. That would make more sense. Why don't they stick to the system they've been given? Surely that would make sense. I mean, if you're an NHL head coach, you have to be pretty good at your job to get to that point. You have to be a pretty good coach in the world of ice hockey to even get a glimpse at being considered for the NHL coaching job. So I don't think you can use that excuse. I mean, sure, Pittsburgh, yeah, but at the same time. So Florida, anyway, are going 11-10-1 this season. Come on, that's not even that bad. 11-10-1 to start the season. It's an 82-game season for a reason here, folks. 11-10-1. They are going above 500. Like, sure, it's not the sort of record that will win you the Atlantic Division for the second year in a row. Sure, fair enough. But they're going just over 500 hockey, or roughly about 500. Pittsburgh. Now, if you want to take Pittsburgh again as an example, they weren't that good at the start of last season. Look how they did. They're probably thinking in Florida, oh, well, if we make this change, we may be able to do the same thing as Pittsburgh. No, Florida, you won't be able to do the same thing as Pittsburgh because you're not Pittsburgh. You don't have the best player in the world in Sidney Crosby at the moment. You don't have an amazing second center in Evgeny Malkin. You don't have Phil Kessel. You don't have any of those guys. You've got Keith Yandel, Roberto Luongo, and Jason Demers. It's kind of like you're not gonna be another Pittsburgh. Like, thinking like that is not gonna work for you, Florida. I'm sorry, Florida fans, but that's the case. You're not gonna be another Pittsburgh by making this coaching change. I can guarantee it. Now, Gallant was in his third season as the Florida Panthers coach, and he is the fourth coach in Florida Panthers franchise history to lead the Panthers to the playoffs, as last year he led the team to a 47-win and 103-point season, their first Atlantic Division win since they got moved into the Atlantic Division, and I don't see why there's any reason to fire him. I think that's the worst idea they could have had. Like, what's that? Why are they firing their coach? 11-10-1. Seriously? Like, that does not make any sense. You need to have faith in your coach, guys. He's done nothing but improve this team since the minute he stepped into the Florida Panthers rink. And all they've done is show him no respect as well. He took a taxi to get sacked, He got fired and then he had to take a taxi to wherever he needed to go. They didn't even get him a ride. He had to take a taxi. Like, guys, come on. In $1 million industry that the hockey world is, like, you've got to show more respect for somebody that took you to the playoffs for the first time in God knows how long because your team's awful and you can't sell any seats, Like, this really irritates me because it's a prime example of franchises still not learning that coaches can only do so much for a team's record. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the play of the team that decides whether a win or loss is given. I mean, the coach, sure, he's a big part of the system. I get that. It's his strategies and his system that's put in place. But he can't go out on the ice and do the job for them. Those guys are getting paid millions of dollars to put a puck in the net or stop a puck going into the net. Like, surely they should be able to do that. Oh, but Odd Man Rush, they may not be as skilled and talented as some of these other guys. Well, that's not the head coach's problem. He's got to deal with what he's got there. He can't go, we need these people, we need these people. That's the GM's job. Maybe they should be sacked, Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. But they're an important part of the system, the coach, but they can't take the blame for all of it. And as I said, to be in the NHL, the best hockey league in the world, I shall add, As a head coach, you have to know what you're doing. And Gerard Gallant is a prime example of somebody knowing what he was doing. So I don't get it. I mean, bearing in mind that Gerard Gallant last year was second in voting for the Jack Adams Award, which is given out every year for the best coach in the season. He lost it to Barry Trotz, I believe, who had the President's Trophy winning Washington Capitals. He came second to them by like a margin of about 100 voting points or something. He was voted first, I think, 20 times in that. So you can't say that he's a bad coach. There must be something else going on, and there must be something going on in the Panthers management, because Gerard Gallant's done nothing but good. He's improved their overall record and their points totals and their success in the season by getting them to the playoffs last year ever since he joined that team. Yeah, it might have something to do with the players that they've now got on that squad, but that's not the point. He's a good coach. Why would you get rid of him just because you're going 11, 10 and 1? I don't get it. Now, I really do hope that somebody of Gerard Gallant's caliber isn't out of work for long. And the Panthers management, I think, owe him a better send-off for how he improved their team and actually made some people want to go to their games. The Florida Panthers have been notorious for having empty seats everywhere. Considering the Tampa Bay Lightning are situated relatively near the Florida Panthers, they're in the same state, for goodness sake, they're selling out tickets. They're selling out the arena on home games, whereas the Florida Panthers aren't, because they haven't been very good for a long time. They made the playoffs last year. Who led them to the playoffs last year, you ask? Gerard Gallant. What a surprise. Why would they get rid of him? I don't get it. I mean, I do wish the best for Gerard Gallant. I don't think he'll be out of a job for long. I really don't. But, I mean, provided there isn't any, like, secret information that's going on, there might be some sort of, like, special reason as to why Gallant got fired that they can't go into. If that's the case, then maybe I'm wrong. But I just think this example is complete rubbish. I really think Gerard Gallant deserved better. I think the Florida Panthers should have given him a better send-off. I mean, they should have fired him in the first place, I think, but I think he deserved better treatment from the Florida Panthers. Bearing in mind, this is the 6th time in the 23 years this franchise has been about that the Panthers have made a coaching change mid-season. I mean, the last was during the 2013-14 season. That's not even 4 years ago. It's 3 years ago that happened. Seriously? Like, Florida, you need to sort it out. No wonder nobody's coming to your games. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, and watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.